Okay, I got it recording. So nothing much else going on the 6 hour. We've got this kind of cluster of supply zones sitting above us and a 30-minute demand below that I would be looking to trade if price came down there today. But outside of that, let's see if within this little area we have anything else on the lower time frames that can give us a trade like a little bit faster because it can take a little while. I know with the moves we've been having, like look at these huge moves. The volatility has been crazy, so we've been able to make large moves like this fairly quickly, but still, I want to look for something else to trade within this level. So the 6 hour zone that we see here, this supply zone has already been triggered once, twice, and we're currently in that move. So let's move it on down to the 4 hour. And if you weren't up here, like when I first started, I have these lines here because I was just noting that if you trade chart patterns, if you came from a different strategy and you trade like chart patterns and indicators and stuff, we've got a diamond forming here on the higher time frames. And so when you have something like this, you expect that when it breaks out, it can run pretty deeply to either side. So seeing this pattern, you could look for a breakout either to the upside or the downside for a run. But I'm still going to be trading supply and demand. But I think just having that, what was I gonna, what's a good word for it? Just like coming from, what is it called when it's like, when you're at work, they call it like interdepartmental, like knowledge from a bunch of departments. Having that kind of like diverse trading and price action knowledge, this can just help sometimes to see it on your chart. Okay, so we're on the 4 hour. Let me zoom in. This is annoying. Here. I figured that because we saw this level on the 12 and the 6, we'd also see it on the 4. This level did get triggered already. This is a very small supply. And to be honest, because we have these lines here, I would expect us to kind of chop a little bit until it finally does break out. So as you can see, the moves are getting, it's kind of staying within this boundary. So even though it rejected right here off of that 6 hour, that some of these candles, it bounced right back up. So this 4 hour supply zone, it looks as though this candle is entering the supply zone now, right? So price came down, it's going back up to touch it. It could very well run back down, but maybe not as long or as deep of a run, maybe like 10 to 15 points until it decides when it's going to break out of this chart pattern. So I'll mark it. Let's go ahead, 54, 36, 25. This is a 4 hour supply. And let's mark the zone. Just going right up here. Okay. And we could very well see it. What time is it? 9:06. We could see a strong rejection here, depending on what it does now. If it stays above the zone for the next like 20 minutes or so before market open, we could very well see it reject down and respect the supply after market opens. But again, we just react to what we see. We don't try to predict what we see. So let's just keep it moving. Okay, 3 hour. We've got a 3 hour demand down here that has already been triggered. So I will not mark it. As you can see, we got this bullish engulfing this bearish candle body here. This candle came down, tapped into the zone, and then immediately pushed back up. Let's see what else we've got going on. Outside of that, nothing else on the 3 hour. This was the other 3 hour level that we could have looked at yesterday. It got triggered a couple of times on the lower time frames. I think it was like 3 different times on the lower time frames. But again, because this has already been triggered, I would not consider it quote unquote fresh. If you're someone who likes to have the support and resistance on your chart, you should mark this. Down to the 2 hour. So yesterday, this 30-minute demand I drew yesterday as an intraday level, and it looks like it became a 2 hour demand. And that can happen over the course of time. Like if you're watching something during the day, let's say we don't have any levels. Like yesterday, I didn't have many levels, so I had to trade intraday levels. There was a 30-minute supply and a 15-minute supply that overlapped at the same time. But if over the course of the day, right, instead of price kind of consolidating and basing there just for that 30 minutes, you could have identified it on the 30-minute, but then it continued to consolidate and base for like the next couple of hours. It can then turn into a higher time frame confluence as well, meaning they just are both at the same area. So what I'm going to do here is I'm now going to mark this as a 30-minute and a 2 hour demand. And what that's going to do is, and remember to put buy here if you're still new and working on the vocabulary. And what that's going to do is it's going to give me a lot more confidence going into this zone that, hey, not only was this formed on the 30-minute, but there was 2 hour confluence as well. So this is an even stronger zone for you to take a look at. It's also on the 90-minute. Oh, perfect. Okay, so now we've got, and to me, when you have confluences that are at the same area, these types of confluences are even stronger than these. They're even stronger than when we have like a bunch of resistances in the same place. Because this, oh, sorry, I thought I heard something. So because this is saying we have market agreement that this area is where everybody wants to get in. And it lasted, for over 2 hours, for over 90 minutes, for over 30 minutes that people were interested in this area. Okay, so we're still on the 2 hour. Take a look at anything else. Nothing within this little diamond that I see. So again, you can wait for, I guess I could say this at the end. You could wait for the break out of this diamond before you traded that 4 hour supply, or you could wait until it comes down to this 2 hour / 30-minute to trade. Let's keep going. Okay, yep, we're down here on the 90-minute. Got this same area. I'm not gonna draw the zone out for this. I'm just gonna keep it in mind that it's right here with the other two. What is this? Where did it open? 53, 14, 75. Anything else here? All right, let's go down to the 1 hour. And again, I mean, I think we're going to see more of the same. We're probably not really going to see much on the 1 hour and the 30-minute because we're still, everything is so choppy within this little pattern here. Okay, so within this 4 hour supply, we have a 1 hour supply right here, nested inside. If you are a range trader, meaning, hold on, 54, 45. Wait, 54, 45. If you're a range trader, meaning you like to trade in between ranges and not breakouts, like some people are breakout traders. Like you trade the breakout of a key level, meaning those people would like to see it break out of this diamond to the upside or the downside, and they would trade the continuation. Maybe you're a range trader. Range traders like to trade within a range. So if they see we have this pretty solid range right here, they're gonna take it to the bottom and take it up to the top, take it to the bottom, take it to the top, bottom, until ultimately it breaks out. But until it does, they're just gonna take advantage of these moves, these ping pong moves back and forth, which that's not a bad strategy, right? Because you can catch 15 points to either side, like maybe even more. Then you have people like supply and demand traders are reversal traders because you're waiting for it to hit a level and then reverse off of that level, whether it's to the upside or to the downside. So it looks like it's coming up into this 1 hour supply right now. It did a quick little rejection off of it. Again, I anticipate just knowing how these ranges work. And I'm saying this like lightly, right? It's been like crazy volatility lately. The candle swings have been so huge, but typically what we would see with this is it would continue to chop inside of this little diamond, inside of this range. Like even though we have a supply here, this is just a good area for us to take it back down to the bottom of the range, and then maybe it's going to pop back up. But what we would typically see is that it'll chop in between here until finally it decides to break out one way or the other in a pretty strong move. So it's 9:13 right now. I do not like to trade like the first candle at 9:30, the opening candle at 9:30. So if it pops up here and rejects back really hard out of this supply zone, I'm not going to try to chase it or anything, but this supply is definitely following the pattern of, come up here, take it back down, bounce back up until it goes left and right. So it's following the pattern, but still, because it's right here open, it could be a little more risky just because the opening candles are the most volatile that we have typically. Let me check the 30-minute. This 30-minute got triggered already. We have a 30-minute inside of this demand, but I do not like little teeny bodies like that on the candles. Like when the body, hold on. Let's just do this. When the bodies are that small, I do not trust it. I do not I do not trust the supply and demand zones using bodies that small. So like I don't trade doji supply and demand. And this to me is not like exactly a doji, right? But it's small enough, it's close enough. What time frame do I trade on? So I chart the levels from the 30-minute on up to the 12-hour. And the reason why I do that is because as you can see, even with charting all those different time frames, I have only come up with 1, 2 really solid tradable levels that are close to where price is. So I'm not trading all those time frames. I'm just, looking for opportunities on those time frames. And then when it comes to actually taking the trades, I'll change this chart to the 5-minute. I'll change this chart to the 5-minute. Something like that. And then I'll change this chart to the 1-minute. And I will take the trades. This is how I will decide to enter the trades and monitor them. So if we look here, let me see if I can do, I got so many drawings. If we look here on the 1-minute chart, you can see that our candles have not hit this 1-hour supply that's inside the 4-hour supply. And so this is what I'm saying, like this is something to watch as the market opens. Now the top of the supply zone is actually the top of this level, but we also have the top of this diamond right here. And I'll probably go and clean up this trend line. I don't usually trade chart patterns, but this is because this one was like so blatantly obvious on the chart. It's kind of like, I'm not gonna ignore it. So I'm gonna clean up these my lines that I made here because they're not exact. And as I'm trading this supply, I'm just going to be mindful that these candles could come all the way up to this line here before it rejects out of this supply zone. So these are going to be the main trades that I'm looking at taking today. I'll take a rejection out of this supply if it's respecting it at the open. If price breaks this zone right here and comes down to our 2-hour 30/30-minute demand down here. Wait a minute, because I had the 30-minute open and I didn't see this. Did I name it wrong yesterday? Oh yeah. Oops. Oh, that was this one. Okay, I was like, where did this come from? Okay, the 30-minute demand was actually here. Okay, let me rename this. This is just a 2 hour. And there's that little doji inside of it, which I'm not paying attention. I'm not gonna pay attention to. How do you usually hold your trades as a scalper? I look for a certain amount of points, or if I have, so for me, I look for a certain amount of points, like 5 to 10 points. I typically don't get more than 10 points. But if I have something like this, that's like, let me go to the 5 minute. Like this right here, this is giving me a very obvious target, right? This is giving me like the end of this um diamond, like the bottom of this trend line, the bottom of this chart pattern is giving me like a super obvious target to go for. So let's say, and this is the supply is at 54.45. This is over 25 points down here. I would typically not hold that long because usually it's not like a straight drop down. It's usually like a few pullbacks, a few minor pullbacks and zigzags. And I just typically don't hold for that long period of time. So even though I'm a scalper, and I'm really just like getting my money and getting out. I don't like to wait at all because my goal is not to, that's how I want to trade. I want to be in a trade for like less than 5 minutes and then I want to go do whatever else I want to do. So if your goal is to learn to hold longer, and stay in trades longer, then I would suggest you start practicing using smaller contracts, buying two contracts and like exiting one when you get to like plus 10 point profit and then like leaving one as a runner for another target that you have. Whether it's something like this, like a trend line, or whether it's like I'm gonna tell you right now, Octavia and Tria would target all the way down here like 100 points, like no lie. That's how he trades. He's a day trader. He would say, okay, we're coming off of this supply. We broke out of this trend line. I'm targeting this other demand that's down here. So that's how you can figure out what your targets are. I'm a scalper, and some people that works for some people, and other people say, like, well, that's dumb. I want to get more points. So you just have to find what works for you. Am I still trading with take profit? Yes, I am. So I've gotten to so I had a 50K account. I got into so essentially they say you can have uh, daily withdrawals. God, I couldn't think of what to say. They say you can have daily withdrawals, but then you pass your account, you make some money, and then they're like, oh, wait, actually, you need to build up a buffer first. So with a 50K account, your buffer has to be $2,000. Like whatever your drawdown was to begin with, which was, so the drawdown for that one was $2,000. Like you could go as low as 48,000. And that's it. So that was like 2,000 away from 50,000. So now I got to the $2,000 buffer, but I'm only like $100 over that. So I'm hoping I'll be able to take a withdrawal here in the next day or two, because after you get to your buffer, then whatever monetary amount you're over that, you wait for that to settle, and then you can take out 80% of that amount per day. So I'm hoping to be able to have some feedback on that. I feel like that was kind of a little bait and switch. Like, oh wait, you have to get your buffer first. But anyway, trade recaps. No, I actually just took them down. I don't know if I republished it yet, but I just took them down because I was loading up the office hours recordings from last week. And so I actually forgot to record my trade recap yesterday, but I'll do it today. I know what trade I took. I still have my order entries. That's another thing, y'all. People were asking about the one-on-ones, like why they're missing from the page and why people can't do a one-on-one anymore. But the reason why is because it is sucking the life out of me. It is like taking so much time. And I really want to I know the one-on-ones are helpful, but I really want to be able to um I don't know, put more into this membership, to be able to do more into this membership, even to possibly being able to like live trade on here once or twice a week, but I literally just do not have the time. And the time I do have, I'm like sitting here back to back to back to back. And I know it's my fault for scheduling them that way, but sitting here back to back to back to back on one-on-one calls. So I'm currently, I think I have like maybe 2 more weeks of one-on-one calls before they're all like filtered out and I can get some of my time back and start um like showing up better, like posting my trade recaps on time because literally I've been struggling with that. I know. And that's another reason, like, and that's another thing. Like, that's why people are like, well, you need a Discord so you can be able to like communicate with us and let us know when this and that. And I'm like, I cannot ethically do a Discord because I would not even be up there sending anything on time like I'm supposed to because like I don't have time. Like I really like the one-on-ones and people learn a lot. It's nice seeing how people learn on there and people like how they do better, but I just literally, it's like I do not have the time. But yeah. Okay, so that's it. That's all I'm looking at for today. Yeah, draw these little lines today, y'all, and let's and see what happens. Watch what happens. I'm definitely interested in this supply right here. I'm just hoping the market is not acting crazy as soon as it opens. I hope it's not, too wild because it would be nice to see a rejection off of here. And for people who like I mean, this is like a good, like I'm good. This from here to here, like that's my money made for the day. But then if it breaks and continues down, even better for people that are holding. And if it breaks to the upside and goes up, it also has a lot of room up here. So there, of course, are like support and resistance levels inside, but there aren't any huge outside of that 3 hour that's been used up a bunch of times, that 3 hour supply that's around here that's been used up a bunch. There's not a lot of other supply and demand up there to kind of stop it. But all right, y'all, that's it for today. I remembered to record this one. I'm also going to be posting all these charting sessions because some people it's just nice to see like the charting every day. Am I taking the same trades on my $200 account? Yeah. I'm just taking them on MES instead of ES. Yep. If anyone doesn't know what he's talking about, I started a small account. And yes, my little like small account experiment to try to flip a $200 account into being able to make like $500 a day. Because I know a lot of people have been asking like, how much do I start with? Can I start with like X amount of dollars? And it would be, I'm hoping to formulate a way for people to be able to learn and earn slowly to build good habits and then eventually make enough, to support you every day, whatever you need to do. But all right, y'all. That's it for today. I'll see y'all. We don't have charting tomorrow, but we have office hours at 12. So send me your emails. If you sent me an email about office hours already, I'm posting the 2 sessions that we had because I've answered like a bunch of questions in there. So, I'm literally about to hit publish on it on the website. So go through there, put it on like 2.5 times speed, and you'll find like a lot of random Q&A in there. All right, talk to y'all later.